So this is a Worthington air compressor. Worthington's a huge name in the air compressor world, but they generally make humongous air compressors. I'm talking 1,000, 2,000 horsepower compressors. But back in the day, they used to make smaller ones like this one you see in front of me. This one is from 1947, which means it is a whopping 75 years old. And I am upgrading the shop air in my shop to a 75-year-old compressor, getting rid of my 2-year-old compressor. Now the reason for that is these old compressors are generally a lot quieter than the newer ones are. This is a 2-stage, my other one I have is a single stage. These are generally a lot lower RPMs, they don't spin as fast, and they're just quiet. I believe this one's about 80 gallons, it might only be 60, I don't know. I'm gonna take some measurements and try to do some math to figure that out, but it looks to be about the same size as my old one, which is a 60 gallon. Now the idea of the horizontal compressor is because one day I'd like to put it up in my pallet rack and get it out of the way so it's no longer a problem. Free up some space down here, and I don't even use the top shelves. But I think for right now, ease of access, make sure everything works, I'll just hook it up in the corner where my old one is. But that is a project for another day, so Theodore, you scared the heck out of me. Again, project for another day, so another day will be coming shortly. Oh, and do me that favor, hit that like button and subscribe. So we're at the point that I moved my 97 out of here. That's why it's a little smoky. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I think I'm ready to move the old compressor out of here and put the new one in. Got the new one over here on the pallet forks. I don't know exactly how that's gonna go yet. I think I might just set it near the wall and then come in from this way and push it in, because it's gonna go there for right now, and maybe over summer I'll put it up top. But what I wanna do first is I wanna give you a sound comparison of the old one versus the new one. Ooh, warm air. I did have my heater running. We'll wait for that to shut off. Yeah, like I was saying, I want to give a comparison of the sound from the old one versus the new one, see if there's that much of a sound difference, and where we went wrong as a human race, that a 75-year-old machine is quieter than a 2-year-old machine. So I'm gonna get this set up. I'm gonna set the camera in the same spot for both times. I'm gonna make sure the fan's off, and then we'll kick the compressor on. Oh, and during editing, if I do have to turn the volume down because it's so loud and it's, you know, crackling the speakers, or I don't know the technical term, I'll just make them both equivalent if I have to reduce the decibels. So you guys are about 20 feet away from the compressor, and I'll go kick it on. Alright, I think that gives you a pretty good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn the electric off at the panel box so I can take the wires out. And that one's pretty light. I should just be able to drag it out of there and move it out of the way. I'll dangle the wires and we'll put the new one in. Well, we'll put the old new one in. Ooh, I forgot to turn it off at the breaker. All right, let's see if I can move this thing by hand. That slides easy peasy. That one that's behind the camera, not so much. Okay, so my idea is to bring it in straight like this, drop it, and then move the tractor and push the tractor, or push the compressor with the tractor. I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna find out together. still in pretty good shape. All right, we got it in unscathed. So the wires are just long enough. The only thing I don't see in here is a ground wire. I don't really know how that's supposed to work. So just to give you guys some backstory on this air compressor, like I said, was 1947, and its entire life has actually been spent at a local volunteer fire company. And what this compressor did was every day it charged up, and then at noon it blew the air horn or the fire siren that's outside of the fire department to let everybody know it was lunchtime. And that is what this compressor did for the past 75 years. Again, I don't really know what to do with the ground, but I think we're ready to fire this thing up. I don't think it has an on-off switch here. I think you just turn the breaker on. At least I don't see an on-off switch. Yeah, so I guess we'll go flip the breaker on and see what happens. Holler if you see smoke. Well, I guess now's as good a time as any to go do the comparison, so I'll set you back over in the same spot. So I don't know what it's going to sound like on camera, but I mean, it's still noisy, but it's not nearly as loud as my other one. I mean, I would normally be yelling into the camera right now, and I'm just talking at a normal voice. I'm sure you can probably hear it in the background, but hopefully you can hear me a little better. I'm going to let that charge up. It's going to build air pressure just to make sure it holds air pressure. I did test it at the guy's house. It held air pressure there. The only concern I have is when I grabbed underneath it with the pallet forks, I'm concerned I hit the drain valve. So I'm going to let it build for a while. We'll see what happens. So I think my suspicions were correct. I must have hit that. I don't know if you guys can hear the air leak. Wait a minute. That's the overpressure. Complete silence. We're at about 150 PSI. Not bad. So future plans for this, I want to keep this running as long as possible. It's already 75 years old, so why not try to keep it running? One major thing I'm going to do is add an automatic tank valve drain. Basically, it just goes on the bottom of the tank, plugs into the wall, and then you set it like once an hour. It purges a little bit of air out of the bottom. That automatically gets rid of all the moisture in the tank. Considering I do run this compressor when it is cold out here, there does create a lot of condensation inside the tank. Worthington 3TTC, I believe it is, or TTC3 or something like that. Again, 1947, 75 years old, builds and holds air pressure. I'm super stoked, and I'm interested to see when I edit this video what the sound difference is between the two, because it sounds quieter standing in here, and I guess that's really all that matters. It sounds quieter. So I gotta pull everything back in the shop, get the 97 back in, because I don't want it out in the snow, and it doesn't want to be out in the snow. Pull everything back in. That's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next one, have a great day. Oh, and do me that favor, hit that like button and subscribe.